Next topic is resources. Red sandstone and other stones were extensively used to make walls and ceiling. So the red sandstone and other stones were used in order to make the walls and ceiling. Gradually, white marbles also came to be used along with red sandstone. So slowly and gradually, with the help of red sandstone, white marbles were also used. During the reign of Shah Jahan, marble was used extensively for building monuments. So during the Shah Jahan period, marbles were given more important in order to build buildings or monuments. The monarchs of the Delhi Sultanate used the cheaper grey stone, while the Mughals preferred white marbles and red sandstone. So during the Delhi Sultanate, they used the cheaper grey stone in order to make the buildings. But in the Mughal period, they preferred marble and red sandstone, which was quite expensive. The buildings material for the Taj Mahal were brought from all over the world, jade and crystal from China. So the materials which were used in order to construct the Taj Mahal were brought from all over the world, just like jade and crystal from the China, sapphire from the Sri Lanka, white marble from Makrana in Rajasthan, carnelian from Arabia, that is Saudi Arabia, and lapis lazuli from the Afghanistan. So as you can see, there are different types of items which were brought from the different parts of the world in order to construct the Taj Mahal by Shah Jahan. A huge bulk of financial resources was required for the construction of various monuments. So in order to make any monument, a huge amount of money was required. For instance, the Red Fort in Delhi took about 10 years to complete at an expenditure of over 1 crore rupees. So this is just assumption, okay? So the Red Fort had taken 10 years in order to complete, and the expenditure was 1 crore rupees. The growing trade and commerce, along with the development of towns and cities, constantly fed the royal treasury. So as there was a trade and commerce during the Mughal period, right? So and along with the development of towns and cities, so it finally fed the royal treasury. That means the royal treasury was were decreasing day by day. It facilitated generous construction of monuments during the period. So with the help of royal treasury only, the emperor used to make different types of monuments during the Mughal period. Next is regional architecture. The medieval period was marked by many transformations in economy, polity, and society. So the medieval period plays an important role in order to change not only economically but also polity and society. Movement of people, ideas, faith, and skills from one region to another promoted the emergence of new architectural style. So the movement of people, that means the people move from one place to another. If they move from one place to the another, then the ideas, faith, and skills also change from one region to another, and hence it promoted the new architectural style in India. The emergence of the Mughal Empire and the keen interest shown by its emperor in architecture encouraged further cross synthesis of ideas. So during the Mughal period, the keen interest in order to make the architecture, it plays an important role, and hence new types of ideas keep evolving in order to make the architecture or to make the monuments different from each buildings which were constructed during the Mughal period. A large number of regional kingdoms such as Vijayanagara, Brahmani, Marwar, Gujarat, Jaunpur, and Bengal emerged in the 15th century. So these regional kingdoms emerged during the 15th century. Architecture in regional kingdoms had a distinctive style. So architecture in the regional kingdom, that means according to the areas, they have a different style of making the monuments. In Bengal, the Adina Mosque, the tomb of Jalaluddin Muhammad at Pandua, the Dakhil Darwaza, and Tantipura Mosque in Gaur are important. So these are the important monuments which were constructed in the Bengal. The striking features of many of these buildings in their oblong shape and peculiar style of roof construction. So every monuments were quite different from each other, and that's why they were different from each monuments constructed. So in the Bengal, the specific features was they used to make the monuments in oblong shape, and the roofs were constructed in different style as compared to other monuments. Shesha Suri mausoleum at Sasaram in Bihar and his mosque at the Purana Kila in Delhi are considered architectural marvels. So Shesha Suri mausoleum, which is at Sasaram in Bihar, and his mosque at the Purana Kila in Delhi, it was considered the best architecture during those period. The Gol Gumbaz at Bijapur in Karnataka is well known for its largest single dome in the world and its magnificent galleries. So the Gol Gumbaz in Bijapur in Karnataka, it is known for its largest single dome. That is, it is just one single dome, and it is constructed the largest single dome in the world. The four minarets of the Charminar at Hyderabad are crowned by a babulous tomb with a petal-like design at the base. So the Charminar, which is present at the Hyderabad, it is crowned by a bulbous domes with a petal-like design. That means in the dome, the petal-like designs are done at the base.